Hello friends, my name is Agung Sulaiman. I will make presentation about two-stroke engine versus four-stroke engine. What's the difference? Automotive engine have transformed over the years, but to mine gasoline-powered combustion engine design remain the two-stroke and the four-stroke will reassure you less heard them. Before do you really know the difference between them? How do they work and which is better? Wait on the grand answer. How do combustion engine work and what is a stroke anyway? In order to understand how these two engines are different, you first need to become familiar with the basic during an engine combustion cycle. The piston moves up and down with the cylinder. The drum top and dead center and bottom dead center refer to the piston position within the cylinder. TDC is it position nearest to the valve, and BDC is the position farthest from them. A stroke is when the piston moves from TDC to BDC or vice versa. A combustion revolution or a combustion cycle is the complete process of gas and air being sucked into the piston, igniting it and expelling the exhaust. Intake the piston move down the cylinder allowing a mixture of fuel and air into the combustion chamber. Compression the piston move back up the cylinder. The intake valve is closed to compress the gas wind. Combustion a spark from the spark plug in the gas. Exhaust the piston goes back the cylinder and the exhaust valve is opened. Difference between a two-stroke and a four-stroke. The difference between a two-stroke and four-stroke engine is how quickly this combustion cycle process occurs based on the number of times the piston moves up and down during the X cycle. Four-stroke. In a four-stroke engine, the piston completes two strokes during X revolution, one compression stroke and one exhaust stroke, being followed by a return stroke. The spark plug fire only on every other revolution, uh, and power is produced every four stroke of the piston. This engine also do not require quick mixing of fuel and oil as they have a separate compartment for the oil. Two-stroke. In a stroke engine, the entire combustion cycle is complete with just a piston stroke. A compression stroke followed by the explosion of the compressed fuel. During the return stroke, the exhaust is let out and a fresh fuel mixture enters the cylinder. The spark plug fires every single revolution, and power is produced revolution and power is produced once every two strokes of the piston. Two-stroke engine also require the oil to be pre-mixed in the fuel. Pros and cons. So which is better? Here are a few of the pros and cons to both engine design. As far as efficiency goes, the four-stroke certainly win. This is due to the fact fuel is common on every four-stroke. Four-stroke engines are having the of 50% more than a comparable two-stroke engine. Typically, a stroke engine creates more torque RPM, while a four-stroke engine creates a higher torque at lower RPM. The four-stroke engine is also much quieter. A stroke engine is significantly louder and has a distinct buzzing because the stroke engines are designed to run a higher RPM. They also tend to wear or faster as four-stroke engine is generally more durable. That being said, the stroke engines are more powerful. Two-stroke engines are a much simpler design, making them easier to fight. They do not have valves but driver port. Four-stroke engines have more parts, therefore they are more expensive cost. Two-stroke engine require permission and fuel, while the four-stroke do not. Four-stroke are more fuel friendly. In a two-stroke engine, burnout oil is also released into the with the exhaust. A remote control cast lawn tool can show both motor and brake back. Four-stroke engines are found in anything from go-kart, lawnmower, and dirt bike right up to the typical internal combustion engine in your vehicle. It's up to you to decide which engine you prefer and for what purpose. At Berryman Products, we are committed to providing from personal service and producing products that meet high quality standard of performance, reliability, and environmental responsibility. What the difference between two-stroke and four-stroke engine? Well, for a two-stroke engine has a small amount of oil mixed in a scaled two-stroke. Because just one and the movement of the piston, the two-stroke performs the full cycle of intake, compression, combustion, and exhaust. No intake or exhaust valve are used, and instead, small holes scaffolding port in the cylinder wall are used for driving in air the expelling exhaust. Because combustion takes place with execution of the cranks, a two-stroke thick-piece format puts out more power than a four-stroke engine, and the power has more instantaneous delivery. These are some reasons why two-stroke engines have a long story of use of many different types of motorcycles. However, crown for more and environmentally friendly performance, crew and four-stroke engine are not known because they have bigger fuel economy and less exhaust smokes. As of 2019, the only two-stroke motorcycle Yamaha make a four-class competition and some model for export. Nonetheless, Yamaha two-stroke product have a simple liquid contraction and compatibility, easy maintenance, and their high reliability keeps them popular in many regions today. Yamaha two-stroke snowmobile are used to traverse the ice confinement of Russia, and our two-stroke outdoor engine are widely used across Africa for fishery. And many motorcycle enthusiasts continue to love two-stroke for their funky, breathtaking feeling of acceleration. As for four-stroke engines, they run on gasoline without any oil mixed in on the piston and down to time of a pre-combustion cycle and is called four-stroke. However, four-stroke engine require valve for both the intake and exhaust that must operate with the high precision, making the engine format more complex even the advantage. But they provide stable power delivery, good fuel efficient, cleaner emission, and more. This is why almost all two-wheelers, from big motorcycles to small scooters, use four-stroke engine. Two-stroke or two-cycle engine is a type of internal combustion engine that completes a power cycle with two-stroke up and down movement of the piston during only one crankshaft revolution. This is contrast to a four-stroke engine, which requires four-stroke of the piston to complete a power cycle during the crankshaft revolution. In a two-stroke engine, the end of the combustion stroke and the beginning of the compression stroke simultaneously with the intake or exhaust or scavenging function occurring at the same time. Two-stroke engines often have a high power-to-weight ratio, power being available in a narrow range rotational speed called the power band. Compared for engine, two-stroke engines have a greatly reduced number of moving parts. A four-stroke or four-cycle engine is an intercombustion engine in which the piston completes four stroke while turning the crankshaft a stroke in the travel of the piston along the cylinder in the direction the four separate stroke are termed. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.